Hello, Earth signs, and welcome to your. Let me make sure this mic is plugged in. Oh, I had to be sure. Welcome to your end of January reading. I don't know what to call it because it's like general and love at the same time and whatnot. But I decided to break everything down into element. Oh, what's going on with the lighting? I don't know about you guys, but has anyone else felt extremely discombobulated today? I have felt like just so all over the place. Like I just could not get my life together. But anyway, I decided to do it by element just because with having already done you guys 2019 and the beginning of January, I didn't want it to be like overkill with, another 12 videos when we're coming back, to do February. So if you're wondering if you're an earth sign, that's if you're a Capricorn, a Taurus, or a Virgo. And this reading is for you. But I'm going to do my best to timestamp them. If you're a saint and you just want to do that, then kudos to you, my friend. But anyway, the registration, well, the pre-registration for my Reiki course that's up on my site. With personals, I'm not taking personals yet, but I will be soon. So if you've been interested in getting a personal reading with me, go ahead and go to my website and sign up for the waiting list. Because those are going to be the first people that are notified when I reopen them. So go ahead and do that. And all of you guys who are waiting for the little printables, like for those different activities and stuff like that, those are also up on the site. But everything else you need to know is in the description box below. So we're going to go ahead and jump into your reading. We're going to look at an overall energy first for my earth signs. So Spirit, please give us clear and direct guidance for my earth signs. Please, Spirit. My Capricorns, my Tauruses, and my Virgos. Anything that they need to know, anything of utmost importance to them as they end out January going into February, please, Spirit. It is time for me to get a new after tarot. These poor little cards have been through the ringer. And I thank you in advance. I probably should move y'all out of the way. I almost had a fire, y'all. I got my little candle over there. I was reaching for something, and like all of my Whispers of Love cards fell on top of the candle. And I was like, but none of them burned, ironically. It's really weird. Maybe it's the stuff they're made out of. I don't know. But this is an overall energy for all three of you. And then after that, I'm going to go into you individually for your love reading. So, central energy. Ooh, the 10 of Cups. Emotional fulfillment, earth signs? Well, all right, dagnabbit son of a gun. This is challenged by the sun. I don't know. I'm so emotionally fulfilled. It's challenging to just be happy when you're so emotionally fulfilled. Really? I can't even hate because I'm an earth sign. So waiting, Wow, that's really good. And maybe y'all know an Aquarius or have Aquarius in your chart because this came up in Aquarius's love reading. But all in all, going into the end of January, going into February, the place that my earth signs are in is one of contentment and fulfillment. It's more or less, I want to say putting energy. Putting energy in or working towards something and not saying that where you're at now is like the end all be all, but you're in a good place. It's like whatever you guys have put effort into, it's like you're in that place where it's like, okay, perfect example would be, you worked a job that you weren't too fond of for like 5 years to save and buy a house. And it's like, I don't really know if you would get furniture from Rooms to Go, but that's the first thing I thought about. No hate, Rooms to Go. But anyway, so you're like, Rooms to Go just delivered your furniture. You're sitting on your couch, you turn on your TV, and it's like it hits you, and it's like, that's what that was for. So all of a sudden, all of the sacrifices, the ups and downs, the days you didn't want to get up and do it, it's like now suddenly it becomes worth it because you have that finished product, so to speak. You know what I mean? But I think that with the Sun card being your challenge, I think the challenge is to enjoy it. Because a lot of times, when you get into like a mode of like hustle mode, work mode, you kind of forget how to chill, you forget how to relax, and you may still be a tad bit kind of hyper vigilant or needing to kind of reprogram to get out of that energy. And whether it's for something you work towards, or even if it's, in the sense of you guys getting the job of your dreams, or, the partner of your dreams, or having a kid, whatever the case may be, it's just things are going so good, but I feel it almost as if being so used to being disappointed that it's kind of being in an energy waiting for the ball to drop, so to speak. So the challenge is really like allowing yourself to say, like, you did the work, you're here, it's yours. No one's going to come steal it, like you can relax and just enjoy it, right? Your past influence, oh yeah, that's why. We have the 3 of Swords. So yeah, man, I felt that. It's a lot of disappointment, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of times that all of you guys have gotten your heart broken or been disappointed, gotten your hopes up, and like the rug has been pulled from under you. But I really feel like the whole thing here is understanding that you're in a new energy, or a new cycle rather, and this is not that. And I feel like I've said that to you guys before. It's like you're not reliving your past anymore. It's like you're free from that, So now you can allow yourself to actually enjoy without the fear of that rug being snatched from under you, because you've put the effort in to be where you are, right? Your below energy is your devil. Man, that is so interesting. It's a lot of fear. It's a lot of fear. And I feel like a lot of this fear is past tense. Like, it's almost like, okay, if we use this in a relationship scenario, it's like you meet a really good person, but there may be certain things that trigger you that make you go back and think about, and not necessarily saying the person's doing the same thing. It just might be a word or something that they ask, and it reminds you of something that your ex may have done. And then it's like you go back to the heartbreak, and like you go back into that defensive mode. You know what I mean? Or even, this is a conversation I had earlier. How did we word that? I was talking about a fear of abandonment earlier, but I can't remember how we worded that, like in scenario form. Oh, it's like not opening up, so to speak. So it's like being so used to being disappointed that you close yourself off, and it's like you want to open up to the person, but you're not going to because you're so used to being disappointed. So it's kind of the thought of, if I don't invest my emotions, then I won't be hurt when the person leaves. You know what I'm saying? And this may be kind of subconscious, but I feel like these are things that are being bought up because things are going so well, which is most certainly a conversation I've had with you guys before. Your above energy, you guys have the King of Wands. So for some of you guys, it's in relation to a fire sign person, right? And that's what, a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. So it's either you dealing with a fire sign male. Oh man, it's definitely a Leo. Never mind. So some of you guys are dealing with a Leo. I wonder if this is a reconciliation. That's interesting. That's very interesting. So for some of you, it's definitely a Leo. I don't know why. So for some of you, it may be a reconciliation, though. And that may be why you're so kind of freaked out, because this may be a person who did break your heart in the past. And things are going good now, but it's the fear of this toxicity. Like, I feel like the toxicity is intricately related, like mind games and stuff, to this heartbreak you guys experienced in the past. We'll get more into that in the love reading portion. But that's interesting. But I feel like for some of you guys, it may be someone who's coming back into your life. But the thing I'm wondering is if this is something that y'all are discerning underneath it all. Okay, no, it's not. We have the Four of Wands going forward. Thank you, Spirit, for that. Because I was like, oh no. So for a lot of you guys, man, I feel like for a lot of you, if it's not a Leo person or a fire sign person that you guys are dealing with, you know what I mean? I'm feeling like it's you guys who need to stand in your power, right? So like I said, with the person who's buying the house, it's like, give yourself credit, you know? Like, give yourself credit and allow yourself to be happy. It's like, that's the only thing that I can keep saying. It's more or less like, for me, you're not in bondage anymore. And this is totally me repeating myself, but it's like, you're not in bondage anymore. You're not in the same energy. It's like you have proof right in front of you of what you can either manifest, what you can build, what you can create. And I just feel like this is really an energy of allowing. So going forward, for some of you, there's like, you know, a commitment that could potentially lead to marriage. For others of you, it's legit like a house and turning your house into a home. You know what I mean? And yeah, man. So I just kind of feel like this is residue. I'm not going to lie. Because y'all know how my stuff is set up. It's like when I'm looking at these, I'm seeing stuff kind of, it's hard to explain. If you're new, this is going to sound really weird, but old people, y'all feel me. But it's almost like certain cards stand out to me. But it's like when I look at these two, I'm seeing these going like this way. So I feel like this is an underlying fear, but I don't feel like you guys are actually experiencing it. I just feel like you're still healing. I don't want to say that you're like, the wounds aren't fresh. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you've just been recently devastated or anything, but I just feel like you're healing because you're not completely healed, but you're healed. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. But I just feel like this is kind of acting as a trigger and manifesting a fear. But how it's looking for me, this isn't it. But more than anything else, and I don't know if that's all y'all, but more than anything else, this is really looking like a fire sign person or a person with those characteristics. Like a person who's very creative, very passionate, very driven. You know what I mean? And finding fulfillment and happiness with that person, and it kind of moving forward into a progressive commitment moving forward, right? Or it's just a house, you know? You may be the head honcho getting a dang house in this piece. And what's not or whatever. But anywho, now I'm going to look at you guys individually. It's interesting. Yeah, y'all, I don't know what it is. Like, I feel so discombobulated, like I cannot even. It's like I just feel like I'm all over the place. I felt like that all day. If it's just me, don't make me feel weird. And don't you dare say it's because of my monster. All right. So we're going to start with Capricorn. Spirit, please give me clear and direct guidance for my Capricorns, please. I mean, one card for Capricorn in reference to their love lives, please, Spirit. That would be nice and wonderful. Capricorn. Whoa. 3 cards. All right, Capricorn, we have getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Then we have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Yeah, so I can see how this first reading relates to Capricorns for sure. Oh, no. Pay attention to red flags. The signs are cautioning you. All right, now, here's the thing. Now, I'm going to say this on both sides, because I can't say that it's for everyone. For some of you guys, right, there may be certain things that are being triggered with this person. Like if it's somebody that you're dating, right, and this person is reminding you of your ex, right, you want to pay attention to the red flags, because of course, if it's something like I said, like it's something that was said, right? And not something derogatory, but you know how, some people have trigger words, and it kind of brought you back to that, and all of a sudden you started seeing this person in the light that you saw your ex. I think y'all are probably dealing with an Aquarius person or somebody that has it in their chart, because this is just like what I told Aquarius, because they had met someone new, and I was telling them, it was like someone from their past, not someone they dated, but someone like they grew up with or something. And I was telling them the same exact thing. I was like, don't project on this person based on who you think they used to be. With you guys, it's slightly different. It's more or less like, if this person is triggering you, make sure you actually really get to know the person and don't project a past hurt onto them, right? So yes, pay attention to red flags. Pay attention to red flags, absolutely, from others, but also pay attention to your own. You know what I mean? Because if you find you're being like hypersensitive with stuff, and you find that how you're reacting to this person is not based on what they're actually doing, but more in alignment with what you fear could possibly happen one day, maybe, type of deal, you want to be cautious about that, right? Because that can end up kind of sullying up the relationship. So when it comes to forgiveness and learning, it's imperative to forgive yourself for allowing yourself, or for trusting the wrong person, or however, it is that you're going through. Allow yourself to forgive yourself. I'm not going to go as far as the person, that's on you, but you got to forgive yourself at least. But forgive yourself for whatever broke your heart in the past, so that you can give yourself and this other person a fair chance to truly get to know each other, so that you can build something that's unique to the two of you, and not necessarily bring in baggage from a last relationship, right? But then I want to say, for others of you who actually are seeing red flags, like say if this is a person that's coming back from your past and they're doing a lot of the same things that they did before that broke your heart, it's like, it's that same kind of theme. You want to take your time, get to know the person again, right? And hear them out. But if you start to see those same patterns, pay attention to that. If you see that nothing with them has changed, you would take this situation as a lesson, be able to forgive and release them, so that you can move forward with your life, right? So I'm seeing that either way for you guys. So I'm going to pull 3 cards for you. When these romance angels, they've been, sweet mother. Okay, Spirit, thank you. The way they've been coming out, I feel like I could just do a reading with simply just them. So the first card we have is the 4 of Swords. Then we have the 10 of Swords. Dang, this is a lot of swords, Capricorn. Then we have the 5 of Swords. Whew. All right. So some of you guys may not be ready to date. Some of you guys may not be ready to date. Some of you guys may not be ready to date. For some of you guys, it may be something that you got out of, like I was saying, like, you're not all the way healed. I think some of y'all are not, because a relationship ended very recently. And in the event, like if you just got out of something like within the last like week, month, 2 months, 3 months type of deal, you have to give yourself time to heal and detox from the previous relationship before you jump into something else, because that could be where the triggering is coming from. And then another thing that's not good is if you were in a relationship with someone who was kind of narky or abusive, it's like if you just got out of something like that and you're still trying to heal from it, right? And then you immediately meet someone else, 9 times out of 10, the person that you meet is going to be no different than the person that you just broke up with. Because the whole thing is, where it comes to forgiving and learning, is learning the lesson of why is it that I was drawn to a person like this in the first place. You know what I mean? If that isn't figured out, like if that lesson isn't learned, it's like you are destined to repeat it, because the purpose is learning the lesson. But if you jump from one relationship to the other without ever learning the lesson, then you will meet a person who's much like the other person to learn the lesson. And I always say it's kind of like sharks, right? Like if you're swimming in the ocean and a shark bites you and you get away and you're swimming back to shore, it's like you're bleeding and the other sharks smell blood, you know? So another shark's going to come and try to munch type of deal. So yeah, you want to be cognizant of that for those of you who just broke up with someone. But for those of you who, you know, you might have took your time to heal and release the person, but I think this is all mental. You know what I'm saying? Mental in the sense that you're still carrying this hurt and this pain in your thoughts. So even though it's like you may have taken the action to rest and to heal and forgive and all this other kind of stuff, detox them out and all this other kind of stuff, it's like this is what really needs to happen, right? There needs to be a release. It's like him holding on to one sword, right? Or in this one, he only has one little sword in his little casket thing, whatever you call it, right? But it's like holding on to that truth of the lesson that was learned in that relationship, right? And being able to die to everything else. So like the only swords that are left in the Ten of Swords is 9 swords. The 9 of Swords, of course, it's like the little wounded warriors, little hypervigilance, little PTSD and all that good stuff. It's releasing all of that, allowing that cycle to close out and only leaving it with your truth, right? And this card is over forgiveness and learning. So that's what you want to leave out of this with, right? But the whole thing, I feel like, and I'm even looking at the 5 of Swords. It's the 3 of Swords that keeps popping up to me in these cards, right? It's the simple fact that I feel like there's inner conflict that's going on for some of you. If this is like an ex that came back, I feel like this is actual conflict. Like you let this person back in and it seemed as if they changed, but you find yourself going through the same rigmarole all over again. So it's almost like they were doing fine and suddenly they snap right back to who it is that they used to be. And I feel like you're conflicted with yourself because it's like they changed, but then you're happy that they came back, but then you really don't know what to do because you want them to be here, but then you don't want to be hurt anymore. And I feel like this is still implying the same thing to me. It's a need to stand firm on the truth of what it is you're seeing, to admit it to yourself of like, okay, so they haven't changed. Yes, that's difficult. Yes, it hurts, but I need to accept that so that I can move forward type of deal, right? The other thing that I'm seeing is that others of you who are talking to a person who's completely new and you're kind of dealing with the triggering thing, I feel like for you guys, this is a conflict inside of yourself. And I feel like it's not a clarity. It's not having clarity on whether this person is toxic or not. But I feel like for some of you, absolutely. But for others of you, not so much. And this is how I can tell you what the differentiating factor is, right? Like those of you who are in the group of the person who's definitely showing red flags is like, this is a person that you've been dating for 2 weeks and you're already getting in very heated arguments. Red flag, right? This is a person who only calls you after 10 p.m. Red flag. This is a person who's never taken you out on a date or in public. And every time they call you is to come to their house. Red flag, right? They demean you. They insult you. They talk about other women or men to you. Red flag. You know? Those are blatant red flags. Now for the other group, where you're thinking it's red flags and it's being triggered, is like the guy is an attorney for the DA's office, right? And he has like buku clients and he sometimes has to work until, 10 p.m. because he has a whole bunch of like cases and stuff, right? So he's staying late and researching. And you are getting triggered because you're like, hey, or he calls and he's like, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it to dinner. We're doing this murder case thing, can't talk about it, confidentiality, because he's a good attorney, And it's like, I'm not going to be able to make it tonight because, we're working on this. We got to go to trial in the morning. But, we can rain check for Saturday maybe, And you're like, oh, yeah, cool. But when you hang up, you're triggered because you think about your ex and how your ex used to say that they were working till 10, but he really wasn't working until 10 because he was at the other chick's house. So you're like, I bet they doing the same thing. So you're going to get in the car and you go drive by the courthouse, see if their cars out there and things of the sort. That's what the other group would be like. So the person didn't actually do anything, right? Home dude had to work. He let you know ahead of time and rescheduled, which is a good thing. Are there such things as green flags? It's a green flag, I guess. I guess that's good. Yeah, go. Okay. It's a green flag because that means go. Okay. So he took you into consideration, informed you, but the only similarity between them and your ex is the fact that he called working late, had to cancel. And just that triggered you and brought you back to that place. You know what I'm saying? And then you go to the courthouse and then home dude's there, you know? So, something like that. Heartbreaking news for, I don't know what that is. It's a YouTube update. I'll figure that out after I'm finished. But yeah, so that's the two different groups. That's what I feel like is going on with you guys. But whatever the case may be, is to take your time to get to know the person, whether it's somebody old. I don't know what's going on with my voice. Whether it's somebody old, whether it's someone new, or did someone old, someone new, something borrowed, something blue, just kidding. Whether it's someone old or it's someone new, or if it's a partner you're reconciling with, it's just to make sure that you're not projecting and then to not deceive yourself, right? Because I feel like those of you who are dealing with people who are, from your past or whatever, it's like I feel like this is like the official closing out of the cycle type of deal. So next we're going to do Taurus. Whoa. Taurus, why you gotta be so extra? Gotta be so extra. Dang. Okay, no, that's too many cards, dog. Wow, I feel like I need to take these. No, that's too many cards. That's way too many. We'll be here until kingdom come. But I hope that made sense, Capricorns. I'm trying to pace myself because I forgot why I don't always do elemental readings. Getting that much energy from all of y'all at once. Oh my goodness. Y'all let me know if I'm doing good on pacing myself. All right, Spirit. Give me clear and direct guidance for my Taurians, please, Spirit. What does Taurus need to know in reference to their love lives going into February? The end of January. And we have 2 cards that fell out. Taurus. We have codependency and release your ex. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. The time has come to clear your energy. Clear it. Okay, Spirit, please give me clear and direct guidance for... Oh, I need to move this here. For Taurians, please, Spirit. Why does that sound familiar? Who got this in the air signs reading? I don't remember. Somebody got it. Was it Gemini? I don't remember. I don't remember. I think it was Gemini. I don't remember. But anyway, the whole thing with codependency and releasing your ex, what I was saying to whoever that was in air sign, it may have been Gemini. But the whole thing I was saying was because I heard the Ja Rule song, like, where would I be without my baby, right? So the whole thing I was sensing with that, not necessarily the whole lyrics of the song, is just the whole phrase of where would I be without this person? Like, what is my life without this person, right? And if ever you're feeling that way about someone, that's codependency. Because your happiness, your fulfillment should never be contingent upon another person, right? And there could be a level of stagnancy that's happening because of the fact of like, you really connect with someone and then it's the thought of like, oh my goodness, like how am I supposed to, move forward from this? How am I supposed to, go on and thinking that maybe you'd never meet someone like that again. And that can kind of get you stuck. First card that we have is the Four of Cups. Then we have the Fool. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. That's interesting. So, here's the whole deal. First and foremost, of course, we know the Four of Cups is like a card of being discontent and bored, right? So the thing that I would say is, in so many ways, in the situation or in you guys' love lives or with your ex, whatever the case may be, you were not really fulfilled anyway. You know what I mean? And Spirit is offering you an opportunity to start anew. But I feel like a lot of the stagnancy, because that happens a lot of times. I'm saying happens a lot of times, but that's what the Four of Cups represents, is being like in between two worlds, knowing you can't go backwards, but still not being able to move forwards either. You know what I mean? Because it's like hoping for something that isn't real. Now in the after tarot, because, you know, a lot of times people look at this card as like, oh, Spirit's offering them like this wonderful cup. I'm not going to say that that's not what it means, but the way that I'm seeing it here is more or less in the sense of like you're dreaming about something but not doing anything to obtain it. So it's kind of like putting yourself in a double bind because you're wanting something that isn't possible, right? So it's like you're looking at a third party situation, not saying literally, but I'm just saying figuratively. You're looking at a third party situation, but you're fantasizing in your head of what it would be like for them to just give you a cup, you know? And while you're doing that, you're not doing anything. It's like you're literally there. So it's almost hoping for, I don't want to necessarily say the impossible, but it's hoping for something that at the present moment isn't real. You know what I'm saying? It's like trying to put like a square peg into a circle. Like it's not going to work. That's not what we're doing. And it doesn't matter how many times you try to push it, the square won't become a circle because it's a square. And that's like the same thing I was saying here with Capricorn. It's a need to come to a place of reality and acceptance and to stop playing the Jedi mind tricks with the self. It's like, what is it right now, today? What are you looking at? Yes, we know what it could be, how it could possibly be in the event of, contingent upon, you know what I'm saying? We know all of that. And that's wonderful. But what is it right now? You know what I mean? And needing to make your decision based on that. So with you guys as well, I feel like it's a bit of a stagnant energy, but I'm still seeing the beautiful thing of this is, like I said, with the after tarot, it's like he's pouring the cup out. So it's not that he's giving up on the dream, but it's like, it's coming to that reality of like what I just described, tapping back into your emotions. What is it that I desire? What is it that I really want? Okay, this isn't that. I want to go towards my happiness. It's stepping into this new beginning, even though you're scared. You know what I mean? And taking those actions to focus on yourself and your own abundance. It's getting very clear on what it is that you want, right? This to me, even though it's saying codependency and like releasing your ex and whatnot, it's like, I feel like that's what you guys are working through right now, but as how it's looking going forward is looking good for me. Like I'm afraid of the new beginning because I'm afraid of, you know, leaving this person behind, right? But the whole key is, and there's like a theme with all these readings, it's so funny. It's like personal empowerment is knowing that you deserve love and you don't have to settle for less than what you want. You don't have to sit by and wait and like have days and months and years of your life pass away while you're waiting for someone to be something for you. Like if a person, and this doesn't matter if it's in love, if it's in friendship, if it's a job, if someone is not giving you what it is that you desire, it is not a requirement of your humanity to sit and wait until they do. And I don't know why I've been feeling the need to stress this so much lately, but the thing is that none of us know how long we have on this earth. We don't, you know, no amount of time is guaranteed. Tomorrow isn't even promised to us. Would your life really have been worth it if you spent your life under this tree and you never got to experience love or friendship or true joy, true bliss? You know what I mean? Living your life to the fullest because you spent it waiting on other people to be what they aren't. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say that people don't change. It's not to say that you shouldn't, give people an opportunity to be different. But what of you? What of your today? You know what I mean? What about your happiness? You don't want to spend years or even months of your life living contingent upon someone outside of the self. That again is codependency. My worth, value, happiness, whether or not I can move or not move, whether I should stay or go is contingent upon someone outside of myself, meaning I've disempowered myself and I've made someone outside of me the god of my life because they tell me what to do, right? Not like in a literal sense, but I'm meaning in the sense of it's okay for you to move on. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even something that your creator does. You have free will. This isn't a part of the deal that you have to sit and wait for people, Because it's like, I'm looking at homegirl, it's like she's just sitting idly by, just watching. It's like watching other people live their lives, watching other people be happy, watching other people get married, watching other people buy homes, watching other people get jobs. And it's like you're just there waiting for something, And I feel like now it's time to take the wheel back and to go in the direction of what it is that you want and don't wait for it to be handed to you. Trust me, I've been there. So have. For way longer than I would have liked to admit. But once that occurred to me, it was just like, dude, nah, People die every day, especially in my city. You know what I'm saying? And it's like your life isn't guaranteed. You don't want to spend your life waiting. What can we do today? Because it's possible. I just think on a grand scale, not even you, Taurus, like not saying that just for Tauruses. I just think on a grand scale, it's like we've gotten comfortable with being in a place of, rain check, contingent upon, you know what I'm saying? Like someday out there in the future, one day maybe, And we've gotten comfortable with this delayed gratification when it comes to our own personal happiness and fulfillment. You know what I mean? It's almost as if we've been conditioned to believe like, love is supposed to hurt. Love is supposed to be struggle. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to grind hard and then you get rewarded in the end. But when it comes to love, man, nah. It doesn't work like that. Let me step down off my soapbox. So, Virgo. Spirit, can I get a card for Virgo? Now get a card for Virgo. Yeah. Sorry. Virgo. Oh. All right, Virgo. We have stay optimistic about your love life. And there's a strong magnetic attraction here. Is there, Virgo? Is there? Person that you have chemistry with and you need to stay optimistic. I don't know why the first thing that I hear is that, like for single Virgos, you guys may be at the point where you're like, oh, I'm not even worried about love and things of the sort. And I feel like there's a person that you may have just met or that's going to be coming into your life that you have a strong magnetic attraction with. And to not, be a pessimist if you meet someone like, oh, they ain't going to be about nothing, type of deal. Okay, Spirit, please give me clear and direct guidance for my Virgos, please, Spirit, in reference to their love lives for the end of January going into February, please, Spirit. A lot of this seems like old residue type of stuff. You, most certainly, Earth signs, y'all go on my website. It's scroll down to the bottom and I have like little freebies. And there's a section that's called, it's a little printable. It's called The Birthrights of the Sacred Self. It's something that I give to all of my clients. It helps you with setting boundaries, but it lets you know with like your birthrights as a human being, what you have the right to have and to ask for. Just because simple things like that, we have a tendency to forget sometimes, you know? I want you guys to go grab that because it's free, you know, it's no, you don't have to give me your email address or anything of the sort, you know. But it's just free. But I would go grab that and just kind of, you know, read those, meditate on them, whatever, because I feel like with a lot of this, it's almost like so far what I'm seeing for Capricorn and for Taurus, it's like old belief systems that are being released. And it's like I feel this urge to like admonish you to own your power. It's like you are worth it and you have the right. And I don't want to sound super cheesy and corny like a motivational speaker. Like, you're sunshine and you love yourself and be empowered, you know? I don't mean it in a cheesy way, but it's like I feel it from the well of my soul, like from the core of my being, is like admonishing a brother or a sister to say that you do not have to settle for less. Do you not know who you are? You know what I mean? It's like you deserve the world on a platter handed to you. There's no reason that you should not be in this energy. I would even go as far because I say this is the baby empress. Like, there's no excuse to not, to stand in your power and your authority and to have everything that your heart could ever dream of, to ever fathom. It's like these are things that you can have, you know? There is no, you know, lady in waiting or dude in waiting needing to suffer, spend nights crying into pillows and things of the sort, like yearning. And that's like the spirit I've been saying that I've been feeling a lot all over the collective, is that it's this groan, this loud collective groan and yearning and desire for something that's not here. And that's just not fair to yourself. I'm sorry, getting back off my soapbox. 3 cards for Virgo, please, Spirit. Y'all know I get passionate. Whoa, that is way than more than 3 cards, but okay. What is going on in America right now? Get off my phone. Sorry. Anyway, so first card, we have the Queen of Cups. A little self-nurturing going on there. Seeing a therapist, you know. Oh, King of Cups. Got a little partnership going on here, people. Then we have the 3 of Cups. Oh, shucky ducky, Virgo. Then we have the High Priestess. Oh, shucks. Oh, we got the 9 of Cups. Okay, Virgo. Okay, Virgo. Okay, Virgo. Just gonna say. So, here's the deal. This is a couple, most certainly. So, whether you are currently with someone, right? And I'm going to say this backwards and then forwards. So, the backwards version of how I'm hearing this is that this is a couple that's already together, right? And it's not necessarily, you guys may, the other person may be a water sign, whatever, or you may have water in your chart, or you just may fit the characteristics of this. But either way, same suit, both court cards, you know, this is a evenly matched couple, right? Looking at staying optimistic about your love life and chemistry, the thing that I feel is that, I don't know, I feel like there may be some sort of rough patch that was hit. I don't know if it was an argument or something of the sort. Kind of pinging on the reading before, you know, this may be like the new couple, and it's like the fear of the toxicity and kind of holding back, so to speak. But the thing that I'm kind of seeing here is the energy between you guys, right, can very well lead to your good old, or is already at, but just needing to come into the awareness of your little 10 of Cups and your little Sun card and things of the sort, right? It's a celebration. It's something to be happy about, right? But I feel like there's a need to utilize your discernment, right? So kind of all of those things that I described prior to, of the importance of being able to discern the difference, like what I talked about with Capricorn in detail, the need to discern the difference between, you know, the red flags and the green flags and projection, you know, and tuning into your intuition and not really tapping so much into the fears of your mind that are rooted in the past can allow you to open up to this, to be able to trust this person and start to cultivate a steady foundation or stable foundation for this relationship, because the chemistry is there. But I'm seeing like this is really legit, like some soulmate type of stuff, because of me seeing these two. It's like two like individuals, right? And then we got our little chemistry here, and taking into account, like I said, the overall energy with our 3 of Cups and then the 9 of Cups, which of course is wish fulfillment, is just a need to, what would dispel your fear is listening to your intuition. So it's a need to kind of tap into that, because you're really in the mental space. It's being too much in your head, and it's a need to tap back into your emotions. Because even if we look at the Queen of Cups, right? And then even if we say, if we don't even look at this as people, if we just look at this as confronting our emotions, and then also being able to manage them and not letting them run us, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, in the traditional Rider Waite, the Queen of Cups is holding like the little trophy, but this is her actually going within, sorting through them, looking at them. And I feel like that's a need of, or what needs to happen is to confront any pessimism that you have in connection to this. Because I know that you guys are feeling that magnetism and feeling that chemistry. I feel like the only thing that's holding you back is fear of making a mistake or getting hurt again. But if you tap into your intuition and allow spirit to guide you, your wishes will be fulfilled. This is the 9 of Cups that leads to the 10 of Cups in the prior reading. People, dagnabbit son of a gun, I said, just be happy. Lordy. Virgos, Taurus, and Capricorns. But I'm going to throw the dice of resonance, guys. If you don't know what the dice of resonance is, that is a little art project. I have 12 zodiac signs, sun, moon, rising, and the role the person could play in your life. Toss them out, and however they resonate, they resonate. And if you have a yes or no question that you want to ask, there's an option to do that too. And the answers you can get are yeses or nos, and time-sensitive answers. In the event that a time-sensitive answer comes out, you would take that as a yes in the time frame in which it would happen. But I hope that made sense, you guys. I've been so discombobulated today. But I hope all of that made sense. All in all, it's like I just really feel like what it is that the energy I'm seeing with Virgo, I don't want you guys to feel deterred at all. Just looking at the overall energy being that 10 of Cups and the sun, I feel like what Aquarius, that is a Freudian slip to the mothers. I'm talking about Virgo and I said what Aquarius is experiencing. Which one of y'all are dealing with an Aquarius? Anyway, because no, because what Virgo is experiencing is exactly what happened with Aquarius in the last reading. But anyway, what Virgo is experiencing, and even those of you who saw the air sign reading, what Aquarius is experiencing, I feel like Taurus as well as Capricorn can experience those things, but it's a need to take that step forward. I feel like Virgos did what Aquarius did and took that step forward. You know what I mean? So once you guys kind of, grasp that truth, release, clear your energy, learn your lesson, it's like this is going to start to roll out for you as well. You know what I mean? It's for you. It can't be taken away type stuff. So we're going to toss the dice of resonance. So don't be discouraged or anything, guys. All right. We have Gemini. We have Libra. Y'all messing with some air signs. We have Moon sign. The answer to your question is in a few months. So yes, in a few months. And we have Friend. So Gemini, Libra, and it could either be Gemini moon or Libra moon, and Friend, and yes, in a few months. So whatever that means. Let me know in the comments, because I'm nosy and I like to be in y'all business. We know these things. Anyway, Earth signs. That has been your mid to end of January reading. I love your freaking faces. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Check out those resources. Register for the course. Join the waiting list for the readings, all that good stuff. But until the next time, love your freaking face. Deuces. Oh, wait, don't look at my ugly nail. Let me do it with this hand. Deuces. Wait, can I do it like that? Deuces.